only got 10 reinforcements, bro. I've noticed when it comes to players, when I be playing solo queue, they like to reinforce every single thing. And you may think, well, that's a good thing. What's correct? That's a good thing. I'm reinforcing stuff. I'm protecting the site. But once you realize, I'm gonna display as I go. And it feels like it's everything in sight. Everything they see in sight, they're gonna like obviously reinforce. Like every single thing. And I don't get it. Like I don't understand why they do that. And especially when it comes to sites like this that are across from each other, they like to reinforce the wall that makes you cross from site to site instead of going through the doorways. And it's very annoying. It's very, very annoying. Now, now you have three more reinforcements. You still have the hatch. You still have the other hatch here, and you still have to reinforce this and this as well. And dirt. Most people don't reinforce dirt because it's honestly, I guess lower ranks don't know how to actually guard this, so they just leave it open and just probably put like a Goyo or a BP camera or even a camera in here. Especially this side. People love to reinforce this side before they even get to here because it contests the push inside the side. And this is just something that you have to go through before coming to the side. And like lower ranks don't realize they can have this hallway just to hold you, from coming through. And now you have no more reinforcements. How can you play this as a defender when you are in lower ranks? And this might look simple. It's okay, I reinforce everything. They can't get inside. But when it's close corner scenarios, you physically have to go through doorways in order to get inside the other side, and that makes enemies they don't have to do anything. They can just sit and wait. Like let's just say what plant is inside the other site, a site, and then you have nothing to go through. No head hose to watch. You have no feet hose to look at. You have nothing to support you when you need to like. You have no. I guess I'll call it moral support. Like just you visibly, if you can visibly see it, it's gonna support you. Honestly, like so, it's like there's nothing you could do because now you have everything reinforced and you have no reinforcements. So now when it comes to a rush, all they do is all that guy to do is pop the hatches and just do what they gotta do to get inside of sight. And it's very difficult as a defender to honestly hold a position in sight if you can't rotate in and out of it freely, not just doing it when you want to, but doing it freely. It's it's not always supposed to be reinforced, reinforced, reinforced. Okay, I'm done. I reinforce everything. Site is safe. I can sit down. I can sit in a corner and just wait for a kill to come to me. No, kills won't come to you. Kills will only come to you when they see it execute. And that might sound in your favor because if they execute, they have to push you. Yeah, but just nothing you can do about that when a full five stack is communicating and they know site is reinforced and site is set up horribly by the defense. And certain scenarios they don't have to actually push on your reinforcements. This wall here, especially, is immediately getting thermited or aced because it's already reinforced and they know no one's gonna watch this hallway. At most, they can easily walk in and just not bother to touch anything and simply just kill anyone who's like, clueless. You know what I'm saying? And then you have breach charges who can breach this literally, and it's very difficult as a defender to honestly hold this when teammates are not correlating. I'm not saying this is a bad idea, but if you're going to reinforce everything in sight, you have to at least coordinate with your teammates. Because, life, not life, the game isn't fully over, but you can still C4. You can still throw a C4 here and, cover the walk in. You can also still make feet holes. Now, the only thing that's wrong with this is you can have this, but now you can't rotate into the site as fast enough. You have to go through the door. But once you go through here, you have one angle, two, three, four. The moment you go through this rotate, you're screwed because now you're vulnerable. This is not, like I said, it is not. I'm not saying this is a bad idea or you shouldn't do this, but this can also work in your favor if you know how to play it. This is a bot setup, not pro, a bot. This can work. I could say like 2%, 3%. If I'm being generous, maybe 5% it will work, but it's just coordinating and talking to your teammates. If you tell your teammates, hey, I'm a bot, I know I'm a bot, but I reinforce every single wall by accident. I'm sorry, and like, I don't know the game. Okay, cool. You probably might have heat on you, but you can work around this. You can have C4s fly through here. You can have smokes. You can have a mirror on here. Just play it back. Don't play it too close. You can have a mirror here. Pop the mirror. You can have a mirror back here too as well. If they do a little fast plant. You can have someone here as well to watch the mirror too if they do run down. You know what I'm saying? Like you can honestly improvise. And if it makes you feel better, yeah, here's the drop. If you want to watch the drop, you can't physically watch the drop from here because you have the hallway coming through central, and then they're not gonna actually peek this, but a nade can honestly come through here and just clear you out. Just a simple nade can honestly make a big difference, and you can watch a hatch, but you can't shoot through it. So same thing here too. When they drop the hatch, they're gonna plant on the backside of Arsenal. So that's just one way of you honestly seeing them for the plan. And then you just, kill them from all the way over here. But you have to remember now, the hatch is still open. So just being contested, again, this isn't even, this could probably work 5% of the time. But you have to coordinate with your teammates. If you're going to reinforce everything, at least act like like, okay, I kind of messed up. Let me just work around this. Let me just try my best. Not just sit in a corner and wait for a kill to come to you. Again, a kill will come to you, but that's just a default execute. Like, they don't even know you're there. And if they do, it's just an execute. You may get two or one kill, but just to execute in general is going to overpower you because you have everything reinforced. You can't move, you can't run around. You have no, I won't call it security, but I will call it, you don't have no full control of the site. It's like you don't have full control of what you're actually doing. That's, I'm gonna go like bottom barrel. It's kind of like with the dog, like when you walk your dog and your dog just like pulls you off the leash, it's like you don't have full control of the dog. The dog is on a leash, yeah, but you don't really have full control of it. So this is kind of like what it is like this, bro. It's like this could be a good idea though. Like honestly, just put a mirror here and there, and just if they plant and when they drop hatch, you just they drop hatch, they're dead. So that's something small. And like I said, like from the beginning, it's at least at least you have visible support. If you don't know what you're looking at, you can't support yourself. Like, okay, where is she? Where are they? I can't find them. It's just visible support. And it honestly makes it difficult for you as a teammate to honestly roam in sight and roam in and out of rotations. And honestly, just it it impacts the important walls as well too. Like this hatch is very important, not only because it's a one-way into sight, but it's soft. Fuse, RAM, Ying, if you know how to use Ying, Zero, put a camera on the floor, damn, on the floor, it really impacts the important wall. It's like this being hard or soft does make a difference, but when it's actually played right, you use Kaid, you can make it, turn it to electrify, what turn it to whatever I just said right there. You could put a kite on here. You could put a tubular iceberg on here. You can. It honestly makes a big difference. If you put a breach charge on this at a soft wall on a soft hatch and you ice it, it can change the difference. But all you gotta do is get a DMR and break it. Like you don't necessarily have to get this hatch open with a breach charge or a shotgun. And DMRs are very powerful. So a little like 4 or 5 shots of this is broken. So it just destroys the Kaid, it just destroys the tube without iceberg, it just destroys anything that's covering that breach charge. So it's very important to reinforce the hatches first. Not always, but in some cases you have to reinforce the hatches, bro. Because now when you look at it, this may seem safe, but once you get flashbanged, fused, smoked, you can't do anything because everything is closed off. You have to physically go through doorways. And let's just say this rotate does get you like 2 kill. Okay, cool. Now you have to walk through this and expose yourself. Like, how do you go from being close to plant, rotating, and all of a sudden taking more time to actually get to the planter? If this was open, it would be way easier and faster just to get through the planter instead of going through the doorway. So when you reinforce everything, it may seem like a good idea, but it's actually not. It's actually not. And it makes the defense weak, very, very weak. People like Cavier, she can't honestly sneak back into sight because there's no rotations. People like, who's the ADS operator? Wame. You may say, how does Wame? How can a Wame not be could be affected by this? Yeah, he can distribute nades and throw it back at you, but when it comes to honestly trying to, he's crowd control. So if you're cluttered, you're honestly going to get hit by those same flashbangs regardless. Even if you have a magnet to catch the frag or flashbang or smoke, you will still be affected by it because you have nowhere to support yourself when that happens. Like you have no choice but to face that because you have no reinforcement. You have no rotation, no head holes. You can't. There's no visible. There's no like physical support when it comes to that, and it hurts the defense. It makes the defense very, very weak, and you only have 10 reinforcements, bro. You only have 10. Now I'm gonna reset this, and I'm gonna show a pro setup. I'm gonna show you a pro setup. I've got this set up. I didn't really get it from him. I was watching one of his videos, Benja, aka Ben 10, bro. I was watching one of his videos, bro, and then I was like, okay, cool. I honestly did like it though. It was pretty cool. Like, it was pretty cool. And honestly, having less reinforcements does make the site faster faster to make, but it makes it simple, but too simple, and the enemy team can't actually work around it. So let me just set up. Double reinforce this obviously to have them, use util. You can pop this, but sometimes I do pop this because people like to put, Goyos, or they ban a trick. And then like when they ban a trick, a nade flies out and they die. So it's like that's just easy bait right there. Rotations on both ends. And the reason why it's not a head hole, because if you're playing in con and then you have someone hop in, not only you can see them, but they're now secure because you can't physically walk in it. You can only see them. So if you want to retake this, you have to walk through it. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine that, head holes versus rotation, and then no, wrong side. Is it the middle one? Yes, this one. I used to put 2 reinforcements here just because it was a rotation, and then it was easier for just to rotate in general, and just like, I guess not a mirror, but just something to go over into gym. But when they do hop this, one, they're exposed not only through visible support but actual support going in and out, and then they're safe. But you have the hatch, who's ever under, you have the floor is soft, soulless, blah blah blah. And then if they continue to walk, that's feet holes. You can see them from con. So if they want to actually retake or honestly try to have a better safe spot, you can honestly just shoot them through the wall because their feet, you can see it. And then the rotate is just whoever's here can see, you can see that. And then from a defender point of view, you can see them walking in, they're not so safe after all when you get past this rotation. You make a vault, not a walkthrough. Sorry. If you make a this is a walkthrough. Rotate, a walkthrough. It's a walkthrough because you can walk. It's called crouch because you only could crouch. It's a vault because you have to vault. So you make a vault here because if they take this double, what is this called? Picnic? Yeah, I think so. Balcony? They can easily walk in. You don't want them to walk in. You want them to make sound cue. So the only sound cue you have is a vault. Just you want a vault. And now I'm gonna be very quiet. Watch this, how Siege has excellent sound. You hear those pipes of the water? That's the toilet bowl. You hear that? The crunch, that's how Siege works. That's just sound cue. And then you may say, well, how did he know he's cheating? No, it's when you tell your teammates to shut the fuck up and you want to hear, that is what someone's hearing for. You literally walking on tarp. Not tarp, walking on wood. And you have different type of sound cues too. You have carpet. Hold on. And you have metal. This is what metal sounds like. very deep, but you won't. You would only you can only pinpoint where they're at only if you know where that sound comes from. If you hear carpet, they're in con. If you hear metal, they're in no R1 R2. But again, you make a vault because you don't want them to physically run in when the wall is popped open. So then you reinforce this. As you can see, you only have 6 reinforcements now, and you barely see any reinforcements. And that's the trick of it. The more reinforcements you use, the more, I guess, vulnerable you are to like dying, because not only you can sit in a corner, yeah, but you have to move. There's no such thing as sit and camp and bait for a kill. No. Again, you notice how it looks so clean, and I only have 6 reinforcements left. I can do a lot with 6 reinforcements. Now, this is my first time. Like I've used this once before, but when I first seen him do this, I was like, wait, why do you like? I understand everyone's roaming and whatnot, but it honestly gives you it it gives you a leeway of people pushing CC. You know, the window, they they sit on the roof, they watch, they, you know, break down the windows. They break the windows, and now you may say, well, why is this open? Why is it not reinforced? Blah, blah, blah. Because you will have someone, like an actual fucking bot. I'm sorry. You have a bot who would sit right here and just wait for no apparent reason. They just sit here and just like hope a kill comes in the vicinity. No, bro. You have to honestly realize, bro, it's angles to the game, bro. So you have attackers open up the windows, and then this is not something that they would be happy about seeing, because now they know it's people going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The only way they can stop that is if they kill the person in CC or take control of Khan, and then when Khan has control, the person in CC is stuck. You know? And then if they hop in, that's an instant a frag coming from Khan, because it's a long angle. You have one more reinforcement. It is very important to reinforce this, because if Thermite gets the wall close enough to right here, he can get both the walls in one charge. So when you want to have this vault, it's just to go back and forth and honestly move around. And as you can tell, this wall isn't reinforced. This isn't reinforced. But this is. So now when you look at it, which side? Where is the right here? This isn't probably what he did, but when they drop this hatch, and they want to take this, they have to, like, their feet is gonna be shown. So a guy who's on a bomb can see his feet before he actually sees the player's head. So that's a easy wall bang when it comes to seeing their feet first and then their head. That's where the trace comes through, and boom, he's dead, because not only you see him, you see his feet. So he drops hatch. He he leans the right way. He does everything right, but the setup, see his feet. So that's an easy wall bang, and really, you can't see the defender's feet, but you can see the attacker's feet. It's just, kind of like mirror, Black Mirror. I see you, but you don't see me. But until then, But this is a rotate going back and forth. This is the cover. This and this as well. R1, R2, and all they see here as well to cover when they try to rush in. Not even rush in, just take this in general, because this is a site, but it's not site because you can't plant here. So the only way to actually get inside, the easiest way to get into the site the fastest is to go through CC, and then you take cash and con, and you're free. Or you can take this wall, drop log, and then you're inside of the contest zone, And of course, mute jammers. But now with mute, it's kind of different now with his new, I guess, nerf. I'll call it. Well, it is a nerf. You won't really use his jammers for drones anymore. You will use it for your teammates. Like, if your teammate wants to rotate without getting called by Duckabee or getting demos tracked, you have to be in the jammer before you get scanned or called. So it would be a good cause to honestly put the mute jammers a certain way. So bless you. So like when you walk, you can honestly not care about getting scanned. Like, you're free. Like, you may think, what is this doing here? But if you realize, if you sit here and you get called, they can't call you because you're in the jammer. And just having it in the vicinity of, well, this might get shot at because the window there, but wait, a little more back. So like, the window there, forward, there. No, like, you can't get scanned, bro. You cannot. I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna move it a little bit more further because I want to make it make I get right here. Yeah, you cannot get scanned, bro. You're already in the mute jammer, so it saves a lot. Like, especially this one. This can obviously get, like, a couple drones, but when it comes to Deimos, Solid Snake, Dokkaebi, Zero, not Zero, like, you won't get scanned because you already have it on your body. So my advice, if you're gonna use mute and they don't ban mute like constantly, get used to putting mute jammers in the site more, not outside of site. So just put them around the map so like you can move around without getting scanned constantly 24/7. Yeah, this is a good way to honestly not care about anything. And then obviously the drone hole, the mute jammer, the drone hole. So then anything else is just you dying by a gunfight. Honestly, And then this is the setup of what I've seen in pro setup. This is the pro setup. And this honestly might not work for your rank games because people honestly don't know how to use it. This looks worse than having everything reinforced. Like, it's too much to see, you know? It's too much to peek and think about. So I kind of understand why people don't do that, especially low ranks. And yeah, and as you can tell, this is soft. You may think, well, reinforce the wall. It's very important. They can come through red and shotgun and sledge and walk through. You don't need to worry about that. Why? Because I mean, castle, yeah, but before they even contest this, you walking through, you watch, you're looking, blah blah blah. Before they even contest this, they have to get to the door, like I mean, like the window. So you can move around freely, you know. You can move around freely as well. You know, someone's here, blah blah blah. You walk through, or you know, you have to wait. And let's just say you're stuck, and you have this over here, this walkthrough, well, run through actually. You don't have to take the doorways, bro. You get shot. You get shot. What's easier is just, let's say you're fighting this, and then you sit and you just tuck, and you're safe here. And honestly, too, here you can on the wall. Literally on the wall, dying. And then when you rotate through, you can easily run straight down. You don't have to go through two doorways and a freaking vault just to get back to site. This is, you know, this is a lot to do just to get back. All you gotta do is just run in, contest, run back. You're good. That's it. But it honestly does it does make it very weak. But now there's, what map was it? This map right here. This map. Pretty much like a pro and con to why you don't reinforce everything, and you only have 10 reinforcements, so you might as well use it to your best advantage. Don't try to reinforce everything and say, oh yeah, I'm safe. No, you're not, bro. Like literally, like, see it as this: the more reinforcements you do, the better Ace, Thermite, Habana, Fuse can do anything to you. Think about that. Like the more hard walls you do, the better for the attackers, because they can just breach every single thing. Because they don't have to actually push you; they can just breach it from like getting in the building in general. You know. I won't do the inside, but I'm gonna do this right here. I may be wrong on this reinforce. I may be wrong. Maybe. What game was it? When they played SR on Bank G2, they had this hatch open. I think you like, not Malusi, but it was some type of, you know, like smoke, whatever, to like cover this. But yeah, hold on. I'm gonna do this too. Just honestly, if I forget. This one? I think it was probably this one. I think it was probably that one. I'm not sure, but let me not touch that wall. Oh, okay, one more map. I remember the map now. I'm gonna explain this first before I even get into it. Now, this is like a delay. Normally, people come through here, a bank garage, they get the camera, they run down, or they go to the window. I think in like the what it's called, the little teller office thingamajig where you, it's kind of like a real bank, you know, when you go in the back of the bank and then they talk to you about your fucking bullshit, whatever they call it, like that. So that, yeah, come through here, boom bang bop, they rushed you, they sit here and watch, but now this is open. They can no longer push forward as close because this is had a feet hose. You can say, yeah, as a defender you can see them, but as an attacker you can't do anything because you have to clear stuff, you know, and you have jammers, you mute, you know, you have to clear it before you actually can get a plan. Like, you can have a plan all you want, but if you can't clear it, the plan is you can't actually put the plan to use, you know. So as a defender you can see from back there. They can't really do much but push forward and probably get you off guard, and that's why you have this. And then with Tachanka, I think it was Tachanka, Smoke, and somebody else, Goyo, but Tachanka, Smoke, you sit here with this shield and you just throw your smokes or fire over this and it literally lands on default plan. So there's no need to honestly sit here and like watch that. Or you have some people who can put a shield here, honestly, ADSs on this shield, ADSs, so just make sure that people don't try to, you know, get you, like frag you out from here. So it will kind of look like this. That's what it would look like. You're here. They can't get you. All you gotta do is just sit crouched, and the only way you can contest this, make this a run through. If you run through it, you will get shot at. You will get shot at. You will get shot at. But just, you know, you can honestly what it is and just, you know, smoke. Smoke. If you need to, if they're trying to pressure you, fuck that off, you know. And you can always move back on that, you know. You can always move back and peek it. You don't have to sit here and watch it. So you don't want to get wall banged because this is off. You can just, you know, watch for a peek. And you walk back forward and you just can take this. But now you can't really walk back forward because, you know, you just take that. So that's that. This, you know, watch, hatch. Now the hatch drop. Normally you would reinforce an example. When someone goes to the beepers as a defender, you can watch this as well. You have a camera. This is so you won't get wall banged. This is what I was talking about. Loan office, yeah, you know. They come through here, they break that, blah blah blah, they slide down, and then they can easily make like visible head hold, whatever, to see you from the elevator if you try to rotate. Not even drop, but just rotate, or like a teammate has to help you. So it's harder for them to honestly push through because it's hard. It's hard. And then you can sit here, just wait, you know, you can look from an angle, blah blah blah. I would put the reinforcement on this side, not the other, not this side. So I was wrong, because you would want to protect yourself from here to cover this. You don't want to have too much flick motion because that's you know, a 3-2-1. You're getting doubles. You're getting triple swung actually. You don't want that. Voice crack. You don't want that. So put it on the opposite side, and then when they walk through the doorway, you can see them, and then, you know, you're covered from here. And yeah, you sit here, boom bang bop, and then you drop. You're in sight. You're safe. You're safe. You know? You're all good. And that's just something small about just not using every reinforcement on every single thing you see. Because you only have 10 reinforcements, bro. You only have 10. And it does make your defense weak, strong. depending how you do reinforcements, it makes your defense very, very, very strong. So I think it was another map too that I saw. I saw what was it, bro? I think I know what map it is. I think. Let me just see. And of course, if you make the right reinforcements, you can honestly slow down the attack. So necessarily, when you making a attack slow down, it's just not the fact that you want them to fall into your trap. It's just you just want them to slow down. That's it. Just nothing crazy about that. You just want them to slow down because momentum is a real thing, bro. If you like, what? Literally yesterday, the round just started. Re- they reinforce every single thing. Like I reinforce certain things, but teammates reinforce every single thing. The round just started, and I'm in a fucking 1v5, probably 1v4, 1v5 with 2 minutes and 26 seconds on the clock. I'm like, the round just started. What do you mean we're already down 4 people, bro? What? So that's one thing. Uh, this one right here. It wasn't. I might not do the Tachanka one, but there is a map where Tachanka breaks the whole wall down just to throw fires. But I literally seen this what not too long ago. What map? What it was this one? Um. Who should I use? Should I use? Um. I'm gonna go smoke. I was watching Pace Bull. Who did he play? Team Secret on this map? I think it was Team Secret or it was a French team. Yeah, it was a French team. How did it look? What was it? Yeah. It's literally half and half, so literally half and half. So I think the defenders, when he was defending, he had this like the 3 shots, boom, bang, bop, and then the whole just to watch. And it's kind of like, I don't want to say anticipating, but it's predicting the team. Is you don't have to know the team, but it's just any other team would do a push. It's like you could be bronze to all the way to champ. You're gonna push a certain way. Point blank period. You're gonna push a certain way. So I'm not saying don't reinforce site to get an easy dub. No, but in some cases, only if your team knows what the heck they're doing, you don't have to reinforce as much, you know. And it was something small like this. It was like normally you see a rotate here, a rotate to make pop, but now it's the rotate isn't focused on you to go back and forth to watch the balcony, but now it's easier for you as a defender because you have feet holes. You may think, well, that doesn't support me because I can literally shoot you. But now, when you walk in as an attacker and then you have someone in the opposite side, T room, and they swing you based off a call out because I can't speak because your feet is showing, that is a big difference. So normally you have a rotate there, blah blah blah. You walk through and then now you get shot at, smoke, blah blah blah. But now as a feet hole here, you cannot contest it like you want to. You have to smoke that. You have to, make this non-visible. Walk through. Oh, my feet showing. How did I die? Because someone literally someone gave a call out to you. Like, hey, someone's in, someone's in the hallway. Just based off seeing you coming through, and it works both ways. I didn't honestly see the idea of it, but and it's coming from here too as well. If they walk through, and that's even if too, if you cannot defend this side of the karaoke, and they walk and they take up back staircase, they cannot use your rotation. They can't use that. They're forced to honestly walk in the hallway, and once they do, their feet is shown, and their head is shown. So that's immediately contest, bro. Immediately, 100% contest percent rate. And reinforcing sight isn't wrong or bad, but it's just knowing what to reinforce. Like, you can reinforce this, but it's just an average player won't like it because they can't rotate. They can't rotate. They can't get out of the building, the site. They can't leave. They have to go through doorways or just, and sometimes doorways are simple. It's simple as that. You don't have to make rotates every single where you go. It's just making it easier for you, not for everyone else, Then if anyone comes up to this restaurant staircase, you can shoot them. Geisha. Then again here too, you can see their feet when they come up the back staircase. They can't use your rotation because it's reinforced. Feet, head, they're dead. Then is having these shots here is just to peek not simultaneously, but up and about, because you have the door you can peek from, the wall, this wall, and just in general, if everything is soft, but as a defender, it's soft, is an easy wall bang. Like the camera said, what's the camera right here? You call out someone here, you would get, well, my forces keep on cracking, bro. You would get wall bang from what? 2 walls. Like, no way, 2 walls. You would get wall bang from 2 walls because someone called you out and you didn't shoot camera. Yo, something's fun like that, bro. So you only have 10 reinforcements. Use them wisely. You don't have to reinforce every single thing, bro. Just make it more better for you, not the attacker. Because again, bro, there's default terms because people love to have rotations, head holds, feet holds, just wanting to be mobile in sight in general. But in some cases, it's good to double reinforce things that's normally not reinforced because a map like this, if you get overpowered and then you just collapse, they're gonna take back staircase and just flood this whole north side. Take the rotate, plant there, and just have it. Someone on balcony watching plant as it's just open, but it's closed now, so they can't plant as fast. So they have to walk through. They have to look through. They have to honestly put themselves in a position where they have to do something. Like, someone coming back here and taking this takes no skill. Not whatsoever. I can easily nade someone. I can nade someone from here, get the kill, run in and plant in that same rotation spot. But now it's reinforced. You can't really get the nade kill because it's reinforced. So you have to move a bit more forward. So instead of doing this, you can't. So you have to, like, it honestly forces the enemy to play on your terms. And that's the whole point of defending, bro. It's just, bro, like, dying by this, you swear they're bots, but they know what they're doing. It's honestly, it's not putting too much on their mind. It's like, if this is if this has a rotation and then someone's here, I can't see that. If I have one C4, I have to make it count. I only have one C4, but a smoke, and that's all you have is like a C4 or a smoke, whatever, like, you cannot see that. But if you do swing it, the door will see you before you even get to shoot this player who's planting. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want to, you can try it if it works for you. If it makes you like the map better, especially theme park. If you like it better, just double reinforce this, have feet holes, head holes, and then reinforce normally what you would reinforce. So it would kind of look like this. Then as well too, thermite. If thermite gets close enough, he can breach charge both of these walls into one breach. No! Don't reinforce that. Don't reinforce that. You could put a double feet hole here because now once they take this, they're visible once they walk in, and then once they progress, you can see them again. So I would say reinforce it if you don't want to have like a double, if you don't want to like constantly flip back and forth. But for me, I would put feet holes here because once they cross again, I can see them from in sight. Like if I wanted to sit here and be safe, I can just watch for their feet, Like reinforce this. And then they do cross restaurant staircase. I can see them when they cross from drums, or I can see them. So I would say if you want to be more secure, because you could get wall bank from here. I may be wrong. Yeah, yeah, for sure, yeah, for sure. And this is a good peak for a defender as well. So if you want to have feet holes here, you can, but for the most part, for now, I'm gonna reinforce it. Boom, you reinforce it, then you can honestly have it have in sight and sit. Now you have one more reinforcement. What shall I do? Everything looks pretty shitty to me, huh? Like you have two walls here, you have this here, you have, you don't reinforce this wall, that wall, towards drum. So reality, you have two reinforcements actually. Yeah, you can reinforce this just to be cool. But reality, you have one more reinforcement. You could reinforce one of these walls or take this here. But again, when it comes to having, damn my nigga, in that 100 horsepower ass car, bro, you want to be safe, You want to be safe, not worried. Like, oh, if I use my own rotation, would I die? Like, you want to be safe, not worried, bro. So that's just the biggest thing about defending, bro. Like, you want to be safe. Like, you shouldn't have to worry about your own setup, bro. Like, no way you scared to, like, no way you're scared to use your own rotation, bro. Like, no way. But yeah, may pop, and this is how I explain it on Clubhouse. Maps like this that have like sites across from each other, you don't want to reinforce the site that you can see in the other site, because if you do that, you have to physically go through doorways. You don't want that. You just want to sit in one site and see it. So, and that's why I had this soft, because if they do come through that, you can easily wall bang them from them, tuck immediately, and just have this doorway to yourself. So let's just say that's soft. You see them, they shoot, they're going to cross, and you just tuck, you wait, and then you just, But now they're going the opposite way. You can use the feet holes from previously, or your own body could rotate and just use the feet holes for yourself, Because this is all sound cue. It takes a minute for them to rotate back and forth. So they can't really see you, They cannot see you. they have to go prone to see you. So they come back, you can easily just change your positioning based on how much you hear them, you know? See, feet, you look at their feet when they walk through. Whoa! You know? And then, oh, he's coming back. You run back, you just wait. You wait. That's soft. You shoot, go back. And this can protect you too. This is hard. Go back, you wait, you tuck. See him right here. Kill him, you know? It's just honestly using the map to your advantage as a defender, bro, not an attacker. But yeah, it makes it very, very difficult. Yeah. I'll do attack actually. I will do an attack and then it's just this is just so an example of why you shouldn't honestly reinforce every single thing, bro. If you reinforce every single thing, bro, you might as well not even. You might as well. What's a better map I can do simultaneously? This one. That's fine. Theme park would have been good to actually show it, but I'm just gonna do this one. Thermite. Bro, Thermite is so tough. Got a shotgun and 3 charges. It's fucking crazy, bro. It's hella crazy, bro. Now, it's just I should put. Damn, I should have put reinforcements, but it'll make a difference. Now, this is one attack on why reinforcing is good and not good at the same time, depending on what you reinforce. As you can tell, it's soft. You know, you can't see in it or through it. Now you can. So if you don't have this reinforced and Thermite isn't pushing this, you are going to have to make a vault through this. Because if you don't make the vault and this is not reinforced, it's pretty much useless because it's going to get blown up and make a walkthrough. So now once they have this, they can flash you out without even trying to contest the con entrance, which is going to be master. So they can honestly flash you out, take this and just try to, you know, get you out the way. And you're, oh, and you're done for. You're gone because now it wasn't real. And you may say, what makes the difference? Like I said, if Thermite isn't coming over here, if he's just worried about the breach, and let's just say you already made your way through this, you can honestly use the rotation to support you because you have control of cash. They cannot drop this confidently because they know someone has to be in cash, con, or watching the doorway. And then now, when it comes to the rush, not really rush, but the push. Now, when it comes to the push, whoever is on the bomb as a defender, they can see the attacker, me, Thermite, drop log, push log, and just see me literally walk through log and just kill me just by seeing my feet, you know? Then whoever's in here, and then defender, you're not dead. Whoever's in here as a defender can honestly support me if the drop comes through, or just being tucked close enough so when you do take this, you can swing on this just before you actually have a teammate to support the Thermite on taking that. So it's just the rotation itself I made earlier with the mute helps a lot because you can use the bomb to protect you, whoever's here, and just watching out for this. Just I wouldn't even call it the power spot. I just call this like just I don't know what I call that, but yeah, you just need to have that. You don't need to have this like this big old hole here as a defender, but it'll be cool to honestly use it and just see how it would help you out. If it doesn't work the first time, probably change the game format, or if it doesn't work again, just don't do it. Just reinforce it, okay? But if you reinforce it, whoever's in cash can just walk through, and boom, they're here. But yeah, that's just pretty much it, bro. On why you shouldn't reinforce every single thing you see. And you only have 10 reinforcements, bro. Lock the fuck in, twin. Bad aim.